My name is Jeanette McLeod, and I'm a Platinum Leader with Young Living. We have a huge turnout tonight, so I hope you find this valuable. I'm just going to share a few tips with you over the 3 years that I've learned in this industry, and some of the tricks of the trade, and things that I hope you'll be able to take with you that's of value. I am going to go ahead and I am going to mute everybody if you're not already muted, just so we don't have any background noise. Tonight, I want to talk to you about a few different things. Limiting beliefs is something that really gets us down in this business. And limiting beliefs can come in the form of your really big butt. And some people have really big butts, really, really big butts. And that ain't cool. And so to get over that, we definitely have to take control of the way we think and what we think and get over those big butts of ours. A little while ago, I did do a video that I want to share with you. It's only 5 minutes long. I thought this would be the perfect time to share it. If you haven't already seen it, because we have 15 minutes together, I can easily go through this with you. Hopefully, my screen will share good and you will be able to see this video that I have. There we go. There's my pretty face. And
hi, everybody. My name is Jeanette McLeod, and I'm a Platinum Leader with Young Living Essential Oils. I had the opportunity to go to GoPro this year and listen to Tiffany Malott speak, and she talked about something that really resonated with me and something that we can all relate to. She talked about our big butt. And our big butt really gets in our way of building our business and living the life of our dreams. So I encourage you to get rid of that big butt of yours right now. The interesting thing about butt, the word butt, is that it brings two contrasting thoughts together. It completely nullifies what you say. So I really want to go to the meeting, but that's bedtime. Totally nullifies everything that was before the word but. It's the most harmful word in the English language. It allows you to justify and retract, and we use it to rationalize things. We use it to make ourselves feel better, and that's not okay. Get rid of your big butt. Number one, we believe our butts are true. So I can't go because I would love to go, but it's bedtime. I would love to, but my kids need me. I would love to, but. We believe them to be true, when in reality, we can probably find an alternative. We don't think we can get rid of our big butts. We think that we're attached to them, and there's no way we could ever be without this big butt. We're comfortable carrying our big butts around. They've become a part of our language. They've become a part of how we live, what we live. But just becomes comfortable. And we have gotten comfortable carrying our big butts around. And guess what? All of our friends have big butts too. So we're around it all the time. And I mean, why would I want to get rid of my big butt when my friends have big butts too? That would be awkward and uncomfortable, wouldn't it? But if you want to live a life beyond mediocrity, get rid of your big butt right now. It makes you feel stuck. It makes you feel like you've always got an explanation. Yeah, but. And often we get defensive about our butt. So we don't want to be defensive about it. We want to acknowledge that our butt's big, that we don't need our butt, that we should get rid of our butt if we want to pursue the business and we want to make it successful and live a life way beyond our wildest dreams. So what you need to do to get rid of your big butt is visualize. Know what you're doing this all for. Visualize the bigger picture. Dream walk about it. What would your life actually look like financially free or time free if all of those things didn't matter? If your big butt was in the way, what kind of a life could you be living? And speak life into your vision. Talk with your partner about it. Talk with your peers about it. Talk with your upline about it and your downline. And about, without that big butt in your way, what things are really going to look like. So speak life into it and learn to visualize it. Hang it up, do a vision board. Put it in your office right beside your computer so you're seeing it all the time. A friend of mine had a whiteboard in their kitchen, and her and her husband would continually add to it. And it would just be a constant reminder of, as long as they keep their big butt out of the way, that's what their life could look like. And then, most importantly, move into action to get rid of your big butt. Set yourself up for that success. Action kills fear. And if you really want to get rid of your big butt and live a life beyond your wildest dreams and not be average and not be mediocre, then you need to put that all into action. And you need to talk to your upline about what to do next and the things that you can do. You need to absorb all the information that you can. So the next time you let your big butt get in the way, we could just think about this. This is going to sound big. When you're talking to your kids next, or you're thinking about it, and it's like, well, there's these commitments with Young Living, there are these things I could be doing, should be doing, just think. We could have all of that. We could have everything. But, ... is that good enough to tell your kids? Is that good enough for your family? That, yeah, we could have all that time and financial freedom, but it's bedtime. But I don't have the time. But I'm too busy. Is that good enough for you? Is that good enough for your kids? Just a thought. Get that big butt out of your way. You can do this. Hi, everybody. My name is Jeanette.
All right, so that was the video that I did after I'd come back from GoPro last year. And it really resonated with me because we have a but for everything. And when Tiffany Malott spoke about it, of course, her vision of, baby got back was pretty real. And how we really do let that get in our way. And it's just a limiting belief. My story was that I refused to have any buts in my way. My husband worked out. So it was easy for me to say, I would love to come, but I don't have a babysitter. I'd love to host a session for you, but I can't get away from my kids, or my kids need me. Quick story on the side is my friend, she, her name will remain nameless, and she was convinced that she couldn't do any of this because her kids needed her. And hey, I get it. I'm a mom too, and it's important for us to be there for them and to be there raising them. But she thought that she had to be there 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, and she just couldn't be there. She could not be the one to put them to bed. She had to be the one, or else they'd never go to bed. It would be terrible. And she decided to pull herself out of her comfort zone, and she thought she'd give it a try. And you're not going to believe what happened. Her kids survived. They actually did go to sleep, and Dad did okay, and everybody was okay for it. So I think sometimes we just get trapped in this comfort zone because on the other side it is unknown, and that's the scary thing. So it's easier to have a but. And I liked the point that Tiffany Malott made, that all of our friends have big butts too. And Eric Worre really talked about this in GoPro, that when we get into network marketing in particular, we have to withstand a certain amount of social judgment from our peers. And the loss of social esteem, I believe is what he calls it. We'll have to suffer the loss of social esteem from ignorant people because we're going against the grain. We're not doing what everybody else is doing. We're not doing, what's maybe the norm, and a lot of people have, bad things to say about it, or they've had bad experiences. So we're the ones. It's like, I don't know if you've heard that story of the crabs in the trap, right? So if you've got a crab in a trap, one crab is fine. But as soon as you start putting other crabs in that trap, what's going to happen is the one crab is going to try to get out. And he's going to climb up the side, and he's going to try to escape. And you know what the other crabs do? They grab his legs and they pull him back down to keep him in, because they don't want him escaping. You stay with us. Don't be different. Stay with the normal. And so even if he were to crawl back up that cage, his friends, his other crabs, would pull his legs off to make him stop trying to get out. They would go so far as to kill him to keep him in that group. And sadly, that's kind of what happens when we get into some of the naysayers, like, oh, that'll never work. Oh, you're just dreaming, but what are you going to do for a real job? And it's just suffering that loss of social esteem and not letting that be a but. I would love to, but none of my friends are into this. I would love to, but I don't know anybody. I would love to, but all my friends are already doing Young Living. Don't let that but be what stands in the way of your success. Because what I was getting at the end of that video really was, you know, this is hard work. And I won't deny that. This is definitely a choice. It's hard work. There's a lot. It's a roller coaster. I often call it a bipolar business because when the days are great, they're great. And when they're awful, they're awful. So my advice on that is never quit on a bad day. And it's just, you learn to love it and you learn to get over those buts. And how you really do that is just by being resourceful. For example, if you say, I would love to do Young Living, but all my friends are already in it. There are ways around that. You're resourceful. You're a resourceful person. You're a creative person. You can refer through people. There's really, you know, I'm going to end on this. And I was thinking about this earlier. I think it was Henry Ford. And if somebody knows this quote and I say it wrong, pipe in, please. Where he said, whether you can or you can't, you're right. And that's where the buts in this industry lie, I feel. That, you know, if you're going to let the buts stand in the way, if you can't do it because of these big buts, then you're right, you can't do it. But I think that there are ways around all of it. And if your why is big enough, the how just doesn't even matter. It falls into place. So definitely don't let those big buts get in your way. I would, Claudia says, I would never go back to a normal job. Yeah, it's pretty awesome if when you catch the vision and you see where this can be and what it can do for you and the people around you, it's pretty amazing. So again, I encourage you to stick with it, get your support team in place, and don't let the buts, if you find yourself butting, then, you know, reach out to somebody and ask them how you can get around it or away from that, and what you can do to be resourceful and find a better way around those buts. Because truth be known, those things happen. Yeah, I'd like to go out to some things, but I don't have a babysitter yet, and you're looking for one. I would like to, but I don't know anybody who doesn't do Young Living yet, right now. So, you know, even if that butt crops up, you're finding a way around it. You can be resourceful and you can get the things that you desire. And Claudia still likes her big butt. Well, and I'm sure Terry does too, but we're not going there. We're going to end on that note. If you have any questions, I hope you found this valuable, at least encouraging, that we do all have big butts from time to time, but shake that big butt off and, you know, just get the courage to go forward and be yourself and overcome those fears. If you have any questions at all, feel free to stay on. This recording will be posted for later use. If you have any questions, stay on, ask us. We usually jibber jab for another 15 minutes or so. Otherwise, feel free to go off. And thanks again for joining me. Have a good night.